Back again with another market update, guys. Philip here from BlackBull Markets. We'll be looking at the US. All right, so we're looking at the NASDAQ 100. Also, I've got here the EURUSD behind me. Right, so I'm going to use the EURUSD. Now, we've seen an extreme amount of strength in the dollar. You guys can see this is the weekly time frame here on the BlackBull Markets MT5. Big strength to the downside, broken past weekly resist support, right? So we'll jump over to the NASDAQ and look at some ideas, potential market entries, and potential setups for the future. All right, guys, so make sure to stick all the way through to the end of the video to see what setups we have. Also, make sure to smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel and comment down below letting us know you subscribed, and we'll get back to all those comments and reply to those as well. Now, without further ado, guys, let's jump onto the charts and see what we have. Now, like I said, obviously, EURUSD, the dollar is strengthening, so obviously EURUSD will be falling, and the dollar compared to other pairs, AUD, USD, 4-hourly time frame, you can see big moves to the downside. So let's jump over to our NASDAQ and see what's going on. This again is the 4-hourly time frame. Now we've had some pretty big moves as well. We can see the strength pushing further lower as this NASDAQ continues to drop. Now, what I look for in these sort of market structures, it's very easy to pick up with these sort of charts. You know, if we look at the NASDAQ or the Dow Jones or anything, Nikkei, anything along the lines of that, the moves to the downside are generally driven by fear. Okay, so people are running away, taking their money out of these indices, and then they move on to something else where they can place it. So we see people running away from the market. That's why when we see the market, you know, when we first start to see drops, they're sharp. Okay, when the market tries to pull back, it always struggles. Now we see this when the market does, when these sort of, you know, markets do climb back up again, it takes a while to reach there. But we see strong drops and struggling to the upside, strong drops, but you know, there's a bit of strength to the upside there, but again, the strength in the drop is unbelievable. We see the market really struggling, strong drops really struggling, and then strong drops to the downside. Okay, so this is it's very easy to pick up where the market's, you know, sentiment lies, where people are looking to, whether they're looking to put money in or taking it out. Okay, so let's have a look and to see what we could potentially be looking for setups here on the NASDAQ. All right, now we've broken past the support, so currently we're sitting, so look on the daily time frame. I believe we might be sitting in no man's land. All right, on the daily, the weekly. Okay, we're starting to approach some weekly resistance support, sorry, right over here. Okay, so I'm going to just get a ray out and pop it on that low. Okay, we can see we had a bit of resistance back up here. We had some more resistance. We start to see some support back here, October 2020, and then we had this big rejection of here, nice support, Feb 2021. Okay, now obviously we've just started to reach it. We can actually see the market rejecting it. So, although we've broken this daily low, we're sitting on that support. Okay, but remember, guys, where does the strength lie in the market? Let's have a look at the charts. Right, we can always see the struggle in these charts. Look how much they're struggling to the upside. Look at the volume in the candles when they go to the upside, and then compared to the volume in the candles when this chart decides to drop. I want to zoom it out a bit so you guys can really get a bigger picture of this. Right, struggling to the upside. Okay, and the amount of volume in the markets when they do decide to panic and take their money out, and then it just takes a while for this market to climb and claw back up again to its highs. And now again we're seeing that strength hit. Now, if we look at the bigger picture, I always like to say, especially when you're swing trading, look at the bigger picture. Does this support really look like a strong support that can hold the market's current, you know, overall strength? You know, you guys can easily answer that question for yourselves. Look when we really do reach, when we start to reach some significant support where the market could, you know, perhaps look at turning around. It's right over there. You know, this is 9,000. Okay, that's the kind of support we will really be looking at right here. I mean, the thing is, you can't tell the future, right? So this could hold, but if we look at it in a perspective of to how big this move is, realistically, chances are in our favor that this market could continue dropping. We've had the first initial drop after this correction to the upside, and now it's our second drop, and we could easily potentially see this break for the low. So let's have a look back again to the hourly time frame. Okay, we see some rejection for hourly time frame. Now we could use this current support that we're sitting on, this so-called weaker support, right? We could use it for this market to reject back up onto here, right? This is that low that we broke. Okay, we do have a pretty large consolidation zone right over here. Okay, the support that we broke, I'm looking here at 12,600 or 12,700 actually is a nice one to look at. So 12700, and that resistance we had is sitting roughly just sort of below the 12500 mark. So 12500 and 12700 are these zones that I'm looking at. Okay, so what we could look for now is just potential rejection in this area to, look to come back to that zone for a nice break and retest for this market to use this strength, use this resistance, use the selling power that kicks into this previous support, hopefully turn resistance to break past that minor overall weekly support. Okay, that'll be ideal. So what we could be looking for is a break and retest of the zone. So entries over here, obviously stop losses depending on where the market rejects and what our candle structures look like to the downside. But remember guys, this market could still easily plummet, but the most important thing is, as traders, right, we're not here to tell the future, right? We're here to follow what the market gives us. So I'm not going to say I'm 100% going to sell out, because if I knew that the market was 100% going to drop, I would take a sell here, put a stop loss. I wouldn't even put a stop loss because if I was that certain, take a sell, let it drop, and then let it hit where I know it'll hit. But we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. We can't tell the future. This is why we use stop losses. This is why we use take profits. And this is why we use confirmation. Okay? So, let's have a look at the other side of the picture, and knowing that we are not weathermen. We are rather here to just follow and take what the market gives us. If this market does reject on here, push back into the zone, we're into a bit of a really hideous consolidation zone. Now, the nice thing about these consolidation zones, if we jump over this, is the volume time frame. So if we do jump over to maybe 30 minutes or anything, 30, I would say 5 minutes is a little bit iffy. 15 minutes, 30 minutes if you guys are interested in day trading, those could be some really nice time frames to look to trade from these internal zones. Look for potential buys as break and retests as we come back into these areas and then reject on that support and then push back to that 13,500, not 12,500. Got a bit of a light here my way. So this top zone is 13,500 and this bottom zone is 12,700. Okay, so if we can get a rejection here and then push it further higher, right, that'll be ideal. Obviously we're going to look for reverses on there as we hit this and get some nice confirmations. But again, if the market blows past it, we could easily see our way back to the top, going, trying to reach for those all-time highs. But like I said, these type of markets, they always claw back to the top. So we could always really struggle in these areas. The market's really going to just struggle, especially considering that we have support/resistance zones coming up. Okay, so besides that, the market doesn't, it struggles when it reaches uncharted territory. Now we also have market that is going to be trading into, so it could struggle even more. So just be aware that with these type of, when you trade these kind of indices, you have to be patient with them, guys. All right, you're not going to get that nice quick pop that we see in Forex. Okay, with these sort of things, we have to be a bit more patient. Let us do its work. That's all about trading. The market takes away from the impatient and gives to the patient. All right, so those are the outlooks we have. Right, I'll quickly cover them again. So potential breaks and retest of this 125 or 700 mark. We could reject to the downside if we do get that. If the market breaks above that 12700, look for nice rejections on the lower term time frame to pop it back to 13500. Okay, those are nice options. Those are the shorter term views. Then obviously once we break highs and lows, we have other options as well. Guys, that's it from this market update. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you did enjoy it, smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. If there are any other page you want us to look at, anything you specifically want to trade and you want us to analyze, we'll be happy to do so. Comment down below. Even if there's anything that we don't have or we don't see, we don't analyze, if you see, let's say, head and shoulders or any sort of market structure in a specific market you see, let us know and we'll go through that with you as well. We'll be happy to analyze those specific charts for you. For us here at BlackBull Markets, guys, as always, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. Trade safe.